I wonder if anybody can guess what we're going to be talking about in this little short video, because I'm only just going to touch on it in this video. Got a car that's on the inside, he's attacking, so he's managed to get the slipstream up the straight. He's got the inside line for the corner and he's got himself more than halfway alongside going into the corner. Has he got the right to the corner? Answer, yes or no. Those of you that said yes, you're quite correct. Let's see what happened. Wait there first. We've gone back a few seconds because that was a replay. That was when they were slowing it down. And the commentators, as they were just reviewing it instantaneously.
Racing incident.
Racing incident, Crofty.
What the stewards will think of that.
Could Hamilton have done anything to give Max Verstappen room there?
Could Hamilton have given Max room? Hamilton's the car that's on the inside, and he hadn't even made it to the corner when Max cut across him. Could Hamilton have given him more room
there and avoid that crash? He was on the...
Hamilton avoid the crash? Who is on the outside with all that space to their left-hand side?
Inside, of course. Yeah.
Who's got all the room to the left-hand side of them to keep wider of their fellow competitor? And you can see where this impact is happening right now, because that's why it's gone blurry there, where the two tyres have just collided and we're not even at the curbing to the corner. The apex is somewhere around here, the middle part of the corner where you're starting to unwind the steering. And because of this contact on the front wheel, Hamilton has to counter steer to prevent him from going into a spin. It's the impact that then Hamilton has to counter steer against to correct his car, which drifts him away from that apex, leaving him more in the middle of the track. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I will be doing another example of this in another video, which is even far more clear cut. But I just found something today, which is a good example. But before I get onto that example, let's hear what Red Bull think. In fact, before I get to Red Bull, keep that last picture in mind as to exactly where Hamilton was then at the point of impact. And this is what Crofty says.
Was there a bit more room to the right that Hamilton should have been finding?
Was room to the right that Hamilton should have been finding? Not was there any room to the left that Verstappen should have been finding. Was there room to the right that Hamilton should have been finding? That's Crofty. That's Crofty. Now for Red Bull. Again, before I cut to Red Bull, Brundle, as the former driver, tells you what he thinks.
I think the stewards will decide. No, let me say what I would decide. I think Hamilton was far enough up the inside to have earned the right to some space.
Into the pit lane come the cars, led by Burt. To the pit lane come the cars, led by Burt Mylander in the Aston Martin Vantage safety car. We have a red flag, session stopped, race suspended.
Is Max okay? He's out of the car.
Hamilton checking to make sure that Max Verstappen is A-OK. So the line-up at the end of the pit lane was Charles Leclerc, as I mentioned, in the lead, walking away, waving to the fans. The first thing that has to be said.
I'm going to do a video of this just for the audio, because the whole audio is inciting the fucking crazies. It is inciting the fucking strap-on fanboys through everything that Sky Sports are saying and everything that F1 TV is allowing to be said and what they're interjecting. So here is the radio message that's interjected from the Red Bull pit crew. Not pit crew, the Wheatley and Horner twats. What's his name? Crofty is talking over the top of them. You'd have to listen to both as they're talking, okay? This is the immediate thing. After they've all pulled into the pits, the race has been red flagged. Kravitz in the pits incites the crazies. suggesting that Hamilton had to take him on lap 1, otherwise he wouldn't have won that race. It would have been race over for Hamilton if Hamilton hadn't have got past Verstappen on the first lap of a Grand Prix. The British Grand Prix, where you can overtake. Really, Kravitz? And the crazies, the strap-on fanboys, think that that's true. And they'll come up in the comments section going, oh, yeah. But you can see from the sprint race that that's what happened. Yeah, that's a sprint race. You don't get it, do you? Hamilton would have gone, yeah, this is the sprint race. And we'll do a bit more on that, don't you worry. This is the sprint race. I'm not so bothered about the sprint race. I'm not going to bust a gut to try and get past you and risk crashing out of the sprint race, risk having to start the Grand Prix from the back of the grid, when actually the Grand Prix is the important thing. But the strap-on fanboys will be going, oh, yeah, but he couldn't do it in the sprint race. Yeah. Because I've just told you the reason he wasn't trying that hard in the sprint race, because he didn't want to risk crashing out of the sprint race. Now, this is what Red Bull said.
2 seconds, Jensen.
Michael, have you got a minute?
Just hearing
Hello.
a message
Michael, look,
from
that
Christian
corner,
Horner to
he was
Michael
never anywhere
Massey,
near alongside
and
every
he's
driver
telling
that's driven
Michael
at this
Massey,
circuit.
He was never anywhere near alongside. He was fully alongside. Everyone that's ever driven at this circuit...
No, you do not stick a wheel up the inside
was
of Cops.
never ahead.
Everyone that's ever driven at this circuit knows you do not stick a wheel up your inside at Cops. That's what Horner has just told everybody. That's what he has been allowed to broadcast to the world.
Hello.
A message
Michael, look,
from
that
Christian
corner,
Horner to
he was
Michael
never anywhere
Massey,
near alongside
and
every
he's
driver
telling
that's driven at
Michael
this
Massey
circuit knows
that
you do not stick a wheel
Lewis
up the inside
was
of Cops.
never ahead.
Every driver that's ever driven at this circuit knows you do not stick a wheel up the inside at Cops. That is what Horner has incited the crazies with.
You
know, that's an
of
enormous
Max Verstappen.
accident.
How many times have you heard that in the comment section from these fucking strap-on fanboys that haven't got a fucking clue about the sport?
And that's an enormous
And it was
accident, he said.
100% Max's
And
corner. So,
100%
you know, as
Max's
far as I'm
corner.
concerned,
When a car that's attacking you is fully alongside you in the braking zone of the corner, it's 100% the car on the inside's corner.
Christian Horner is telling the race director
lays on
at
Hamilton,
this moment
who
in
should
time
never
that
have
the
been in
blame
that
is
position.
fully
So,
on Lewis
you know,
Hamilton,
you
which
had a
I'm not
massive,
surprised about, Jensen. That's a message
thank
that
God
I
he's
expected
walked
to
away
hear.
unscathed. So I hope you're going to deal with it appropriately.
It could have been a massive accident. Thank God he's walked away unscathed. Because everybody that's ever driven this circuit knows you don't stick a wheel up the inside at Cops Corner. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that, don't they?
Line, but Verstappen manages to hold on to the place.
Well, what was going on there? Verstappen managed to hold on to a place. Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
But for how much longer? Raikkonen on the inside towards Cops.
Oh, I thought everybody knows that's ever driven at this circuit knows you don't stick a wheel up the inside at Cops.
Going wheel to wheel.
And then the footage cuts just to that. Miraculous. We don't see it, do we? We don't see the line that Max Verstappen takes. But it doesn't look like he's chopping across the nose of Kimi that's on the inside. Let's have a look again. We've not got driver cam view, so I can't give you that footage because, again, not available in 2018. But let's have a look.
And through left field and onto what could they go? Verstappen is now back ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, but for how much longer?
Come up the same straight. Raikkonen doesn't even make it as far alongside.
Raikkonen on the inside towards Cops, going well.
And then it cuts to that. Literally, juts from, they're back here, back where I'm trying to wave my cursor, at that bit of curbing, and then it changes angle and they're there. So you cannot even see the line that Max Verstappen is taking around there. But Max Verstappen on Lewis Hamilton is about, well, he's there, he hits him before the curb, but he's trying to chop across to here, right? Verstappen is clearly keeping wider in 18 against Raikkonen. And everybody that's ever driven this circuit knows you don't put a wheel up the inside there. Is that right, Christian?
Him and through left field and onto Woodcote they go. Verstappen is now back ahead of Kimi Räikkönen. But for how much longer? Räikkönen on the inside towards Cox.
See, I'm hitting pause and it's just doing that. Do it one more time.
Back at him and through left field and onto Woodcote they go. Verstappen is now back ahead of Kimi Räikkönen.
I'm going to let it play through.
But for how much longer?
Right, I'm going to let it play through. So you see, I'm not jumping this. This is just played through.
Räikkönen on the inside towards Cox, going wheel to wheel.
So I'll try and do a freeze frame of that at some point. But that's as much as it's going to do. It cuts off before they even reach the corner, the curbing. Okay, and then it shows you it over here. And Verstappen's going off the track, this side of the track. But he's kept wide. And that's what you do. If you've got a car on your inside, you keep wide. You don't chop across their nose and cause an accident and go spinning off across the gravel and into the tyres. Everybody that's ever driven down this circuit knows that you don't chop across the nose of your opponent when they've got the inside line at Cox. But this is just one of them. You wait till I drop the proper video about what really happened at Silverstone. Inciting fucking bastards. Red Bull, F1 TV, Sky Sports F1 have incited the hatred against Sir Lewis Hamilton and incited these brain-dead motherfuckers that know fuck all about motor racing and conditioned them to believe that Lewis Hamilton was the villain there. Filthy bastards. Filthy bastards. Anyway, that'll do for this one.